Alright, what you already have seen now is already point proven. I am trying to keep the license plates away from this stuff. Standing here is doing me no good, but anyhow, earlier you were able to see when I wasn't doing this stuff yet. The so-called police made these markers like this, red ones here for the cars, and to separate the bike trail from the car, whatever you would be going car, you know. You would be fucking going car nowhere because the car cannot go here. There is no space for the car. And so I found myself inside of the police car. I found myself inside of the police car with the criminals from NOVO MESTO police station acting as a police officers, giving me a lesson about how you shall drive. You see what that is? You see what that is? Even if you wanted to, you could not, because there's no space for the cars. Even if you wanted to, you could not drive on your own side because there's no space for the cars. And so they were driving me, psychiatrist Peter Kopsch with this police, they were driving me back and forth on this road here. We are now at this intersection. Where they demanded and insisted for me to, whenever I drive, to drive on my own side of the road and not on a bike trail. That's one lesson. Obviously, insane people, completely insane people were not happy with that stuff. That's what they were doing during MK Ultra. They were driving insane through the traffic infractions. Basically, can you imagine to drive somebody insane through the traffic regulations? Basically, I don't have to say what you can cause to a person if you misleading one on a traffic regulations. It's just impossible. That car would not go through that red stuff that you see right there, because it's impossible. So we are now at the intersection where I come from this direction. Even at police garbage from NOVO MESTO police station, Zajšek, Štefanić, Božičnik, etc., demanding from me to come from this direction because it's bad for the car to drive from other direction, what is at 30 kilometers an hour, and even worse to go around the city where the police traps and all kinds of stuff. So this is the intersection we are talking about every fucking day. Whenever I come from this direction that you see right there, I have the cars coming exactly the way the... No, let me demonstrate to you. I am just going to position. The guy did the direction marker right now when he make a U-turn. The Mercedes, he came from the direction over there. Fuck this. Like the guy did right now, he made a marker to turn around for 180 degrees right there. That's what he did. I don't know why they would be doing this kind of stuff, but they are clearly using a marker to make a turn, to make a U-turn. You see what I'm saying? Every day when I come here, it did happen at least 20 times. I have people doing a U-turn, cutting right in front of me without even giving a marker based on the police instructions, looking to cause car accident. Every fucking day when I come through this intersection, I'm facing psychiatrist Peter Kopsch like this guy did right now, without giving any kind of direction marker. which actually he can do this. Do not misunderstand me. He can do this because if the intersection is empty, he can do it just like he is doing right now. Just like this guy did right now. However, there is something else to it. I will explain to you the issue. You can do this. You see the cars the way they come? Once you enter inside of this rondo, you know, rondo, let me demonstrate you something that you're gonna understand something. Once you enter the rondo is this here. You can travel without giving any kind of direction, anything like that. Why would you give even the direction, you ask, right? Why would you give the direction? What we have watched right now is this and this. This is the main road that you would go. Like this. This is the main one. You see? This here, let's say, is a parking area. The one that you see right there. It's a parking area right there. That's a parking area. It's nothing. Basically, there's no road over there. It's just a parking. This here is just a parking here. And well, practically I was coming from this direction here, going toward the father. And then you have this direction here, which is also a road. That one is coming from there, from this direction there. You see, the cars also come from this direction here, like this. That's a road. That's a road. That's apartment buildings, and it's a road connected to Kirka Pharmaceutical. Very, very important road. Every join to this rondo. I don't know how to say this in English. Rondo. I call it rondo because it's round, whatever. They call it a rondo in Slovenia. Is whenever you would enter the rondo, from every side you will have this sign, which is not a stop sign. This is a sign that states proceed with a caution. Basically, reduce the speed, obviously, and proceed with a caution. That means that you don't have to stop. You can continue with the traffic, however, with a caution. And yes, since you are not technically inside of this rondo here yet, yes, that's true. Since you're not inside of this rondo yet, the other guy who is inside of the rondo does practically has, he did not even give the marker anything, idiot. The other guy has ability to travel in this circle back and forth, around without giving any kind of sign. That absolutely is the truth. However, there is something else true. When you enter the area of the rondo right there, the way you see where this guy is going to come right now, you now enter the area of the rondo right there. You're now inside of the rondo. The other guy that enters here also becomes a participant of the traffic as he enters this area here, or at least he wants to enter, unless the car that is already inside of the rondo is pushing one out, basically going like, either you're gonna go and, well, this is the car, looks more or less like that, whatever. This morning, talking about this Hulk Hogan issue. The problem is that the cars that police was using during MK Ultra, they insisted me that they gestured me that I don't know the traffic rules. What they were doing is, they were based on MK Ultra scenarios, cutting right in front of it. Hey. Making sure that I would not even have a capacity to go inside of the rondo and continue with the traffic. Now you have people, you see they give the direction, you can see how they give the direction. Every normal person is gonna do this. If you are fucking semi-normal, you're gonna go and you're gonna fucking do this. Every morning to me it happens that people, I don't enter inside of the rondo because I know already that I will have the people cutting in front of me. I have a traumatic disorder in respect to this intersection because police is using cars to cut right in front of me without giving any kind of signal and are more than willing to crash into me. You understand the point? I know the regulations. I know what it means. By the way, this place here does have completely wrong signs posted. This area here that you see, this area here doesn't go straight. This is the area that has a parking lot, and the police stated to me, the police stated to me the police claimed to me during MK Ultra exactly because it has a parking on the other side. If it would have the road straight, it would have a stop sign, if you understand me. But this is not true. It's not true because this road is busy, but this road here, technically looking, is the main road. And not only because this is the main road, but because this road here goes straight. There should be a stop sign posted right there. And there should be a stop sign posted right here based on the law, based on the regulations, traffic regulations. I know my business. I know about something about this. A little bit I know about the traffic, and a little bit ambulance vehicle did not disrupt me as much so that I would know the stuff that I'm talking about. That experts, traffic experts, can do nothing other but agree with it. That's all I wanted to clarify. Police is literally using cars at this intersection, just like the car that you have seen right here. He gave the marker. Have you seen this? He gave the marker here that he's going to turn here. To literally terrorize every morning with U-turns around here. So to either you're gonna stop, you're gonna let me basically cut in front of you, or I'm gonna fucking smash into your car business. I have a time, like I take my fucking time to video record this stuff. I don't give a three fuck about who thinks about me what anymore. We are now at that location. This here is where ought to be a stop sign, and instead it's a sign suggesting that you're an equal participant to this traffic here, to this road here that goes straight, and to the other traffic. And the way the police rationalize is just as I stated. This road does connect. It is important there. You have apartment structure. It is open road. It goes straight to the Krka Pharmaceutical. It's true. However, this road here is straight, and this is the most busy road. And doing the stuff like this, like I explained, without even giving a marker, indicator that you're gonna do the U-turn, only suggests a hit, basically. What you are saying to me is that this here, this sign here, you're saying this sign here does not actually apply to this stuff. That's what the Novo MESTO police is saying to me. Because every time as I come, instead of proceeding and getting myself inside of the traffic, I'm facing the cars that speed through, do not give any kind of indicator about making their intention to turn, but they do turn right in front of me like this. They cut right in front of me, trying to create a car crash, basically. I don't give a fuck if I took the license plates. This was involved in MK Ultra, with the police doing insane stuff, with the police now enforcing insane stuff. And it also pertains to the issue which I earlier described as attempt. They jammed the traffic to push me through the side street into a really dangerous situation for which they exercised during MK Ultra for many years, anticipated they would develop a car crash out of it. Milan Kucan was obsessed with causing a car crash traffic incidents. They were delivering me to two other rondo intersections before this one here even appeared, and were teaching me the laws that do not pertain to the traffic. Therefore, they anticipated through MK Ultra brainwash through the regulations, traffic regulations, and would cause in my head such a clusterfuck that I would eventually cause, based on the signals, on the traffic signals, signs, incident which they would use to prove that something is wrong with me. Psychiatrists, better cops, police, they had me inside of the cars at the intersection asking me about the signs, and have gone to misinterpret the signs in whatever they figure out would be the best, the most fit, that would fit their agenda, basically, the way they wanted to have things done. Let me show you where this garbage is located. We give him a little bit commercial here. It's called Kočevarjeva ulica, Gottschee Street. Gottschee were a German minority in Slovenia, so they gave themselves name a bit sarcastically, Kočevarjeva ulica, Gottschee Street. This is the intersection where I was right now at. Let me demonstrate you this so that you can see where I was at. I hope these criminals will be removed, not from their official duties, but from the life behind the prisons. This is the road which you can see as the one going straight. It's also, when compared to this road here, much of a bigger size, just the way you see it. I have prevented at least 20 car crashes at this intersection by rather stopping and allowing lunatics to go through. Now, there is such a rule that pertains to the signs and to the rondo intersection, circling intersection, that if the car already stops, the cars will simply do have ability to follow through if the car already stops, right? However, there is a thing that whenever I was coming from this direction, I would have the cars cut in front of me deliberately. There would be like a line waiting for me to come from this intersection when delivering mother. And then you would have the car that would go through me clearly, who would have ability to merge inside, but it would be other cars that would literally, with excessive speed, cut right in front of me. Basically, there is also a law that pertains to the speed at the rondo intersections, and those are not to be misused for the purposes of crashing into cars. I'm not going to say to cut in front of a car, but with intention to literally smash into the car that is trying to merge under normal circumstances into the rondo. However, this intersection here, I believe personally, are obligated, even if you enter inside of the intersection, if you are to make the 90-degree turn, like this, coming from this direction here, you're obligated to put the sign that you will go this way, so the car that goes, it can continue to merge normally. It's your job actually when you come from this direction to give the sign indicator, therefore the left indicator, that you are going to either do the U-turn. Okay, you can also do the U-turn, and this is what is the most fascinating to me, because they were doing the U-turns. And I'm trying to figure out where the fuck would you go to make the U-turn. The thing is, you cannot go anywhere. You can't go fucking anywhere. And we're not talking about one thing. We're not talking about like those tourists that came with the motorcycles and they gave the proper indicators to make a U-turn. We're not talking about the motorcycles that you have seen. Every fucking license plate pertained to the city of the Novo, MESTO. Every fucking license plate pertained to the city of the Novo, MESTO. At least 20 car crashes for sure that I prevented. With literally people entering the intersection without giving any kind of... And they talk to me during MK Ultra. It's going to be my word against your word. That's all there is to it. Why would they do this? Because this is a city center here. And the city center used to be open for the traffic in both directions. But now as the cars are coming, not the one from Novo Mesto, they know very good that you cannot go in opposite direction of these arrows that are indicating direction of the traffic. You understand? They are confused. They're confused because they see, oh shit, I cannot turn. They come from this direction and they say, oh, look, I cannot turn this way, like it used to be in all times that you were able to turn toward the city. But I have to proceed in making the nearest possibility to turn around the car and go back in this direction. That's logical. But we're talking about the local traffic. We're talking about the Novo Mesto cars. With this type of attitude, basically, as I was suggested, I have the money and you don't have the money. That's right. It doesn't matter. We're going to do the boom just so that we can cause trouble. That's all there is. Because I have the money and you simply don't have one. And it's your word against my word. This is what we have going on from these people. On my way back home to... Let me see if you can drive here. And that would be beautiful. You can see this here. You can see the car not going on the other side of these red dots. Every car is going through the red dots because there is not enough space anywhere for the cars to continue. It's too narrow. Yes, it's too narrow. And it's impossible for the cars would not go through these red dots. It's simply impossible. Everybody is doing it and it's a normal thing. This car is doing it at this point. This car also are doing it at this point. They're going across these red dots. The police demanded from me to not go inside where you have the marker for the bicycles. Inside of the car, they would put me inside of the car and they would drive me around and misinterpret the situations as well as the signs, the traffic regulations. On my way back home, there was here, I missed the green light for the left turn. At this intersection here, you go back. It doesn't matter because it happened actually on this side of the road. They started to tutor me to not turn off the car on the red light. Do not turn the car on the red light. Do not turn the car on the red light because it's illegal, it is criminal to do this. On the other hand, this is totally true. You don't have the right to turn off the car on the intersection. This is totally true. However, the way they interpreted this stuff, on how they're going to be fucking me deliberately on the red lights so that the car, how bad it is for the car. Now we go to the maintenance issues. The stuff pertaining to the maintenance brainwash. What went on inside of the garage of the father with the cars they would deliver here and do the maintenance literally inside of our garage, inside of our home. We go to the Igor Jurcic, we go again to the funny man, the Stefanic. They would have me inside of the cars, literally. In one way, they would suggest what is actually the proper way on how it shall be, as it is, per regulations. And on the other hand, they would suggest me why it is bad and what they will be doing to me to damage me in the process. And, you know, a lot of people, this is why this video, a lot of people would go and would settle for a brainwash. But I think that the people like this should not be working inside of the police departments, which are the people like this we have throughout entire Slovenia. We have these are traffic officers. These are traffic police officers that are misinterpreting laws, literally causing car crashes on the road through MK Ultra procedures. On the road, you're going to see one as a police officer, basically equivalent to the traffic sign. That's what this is. That's a police officer. It's a law. In the private, even during their work hours, during their job they were doing, They were misinterpreting the laws, signs, maliciously were inciting in violations of the traffic regulations rules. So I think that these are extremely, not dangerous, but extremely deadly people employed at this particular Novo Mesto police. It's all over the Slovenia. It's like a fucking cancer. The boss of the police in Yugoslavia was Milan Kucan, and Milan Kucan was elected as the first Slovenian president in what became newly independent in 1991 Slovenia. So that's all I gotta say about this stuff. Milan Kucan was all over the traffic regulations, signs, literally using the police to exploit traffic regulations, rules, laws, etc. They were interrogating me through absolutely every traffic rule that applies to the traffic laws, regulations during MK Ultra, and were misinterpreting those in whichever way it fit them. So I don't think that we can have a people like this wearing a police uniforms. Imagine to be stopped by the killer as in a clean uniform, basically giving a citation, as it did happen to me right here, for really creating a traffic violation. I did violate the law here when I make the right turn in front of this store here, in front of this Eurospin store, and I did explain to you what went on in respect to this, how they were delivering me in United States of America, and how they were delivering me because it doesn't have a green sign, arrow, that means that you can turn right, in totally opposite what is in United States of America, basically. This is fucking insane. This is fucking insane. This is insane. This is insane. Having a people like this working as a traffic officers, as a police officers, playing with the traffic regulations, with the traffic signs, literally inciting in a car crash, in an incident into accidents. That's fucking crazy, basically. Interrogating person on how would he act in a certain situation, and if sensing there will be a possibility to cause a car crash, then follow up on one through the real circumstances. Basically jamming at traffic, just as I described the other day, and doing your best to create a real heavy car crash. I think these people have to go. Prison term. Prison. These are not the police officers. Let's repeat. How do I refer to this dunk scum as? Murderers, killers, 24/7 murderers, killers, assassins at work. This is a direction that you see right here. This is directly related to the oil change, to the stuff they have done using my mother, is directly related to oil change. This direction, not because the police would claim, it is, when it comes to the police, let's just put it this way, it's related to the, it's related to police. Let me demonstrate you this stuff here. Now I disconnected the Wi-Fi. It's a stuff that is related to me, and it's a stuff that's related to the police. So we have to keep these issues, two issues, very separate, clean, so we don't mix the two. I will say to you that for the car, it's not good to travel all the time 30 kilometers an hour or below 50 kilometers an hour, right? And so the two other routes do not offer basically what this route here offers. All through, this is actually totally related to the police, this direction here. It's got everything to do with the police. Absolutely everything to do with the police. Because here you can actually travel with the 70 kilometers an hour. There was a sign which there is no other location you can travel through. The police alone suggested that this should be the best route for my car, which is true. I'm just going to put it this way. It's true. So they knew that I will be coming through here. Now, through the intersection direction that I demonstrated you. Yeah. Since we did this business here, let me just go over and demonstrate you entirely through where. So let me make sense out of this stuff completely. This is Krka right here, the village. Krka is located, the village Krka is located like where I'm from is here, is this dot here that you see, like this, yes? And so now you have three directions that you can use. I'm going to zoom myself into direction that I went to demonstrate you I'm using. That's basically going, I'm going to use some kind of something, let's say this thing here, much easier to demonstrate you. Our house, travel under the bridge. You see this here, this big road here. I go under the bridge, I go around, and then I cross and I merge to this road here that gives me opportunity to push the car to 70 kilometers an hour all the way to this intersection. Then we go through this intersection, which I demonstrated you also. We proceed and we go through here, we go here, and this is this RONDO I was talking to you about, but basically going straight. Yeah, you go straight through this thing here, but you merge from this road here, you come 70 kilometers an hour, and here you go with normally reduced speed, you continue toward home for elderly people. Other alternative is just as in the case of merging, so our home, just as in the case of the merging on this highway here, is to proceed instead through what is known as a Ragovo right there. This is other alternative. This is the road that is extremely poorly maintained with a lot of hole deliberately. Was involved in MK Ultra, deliberately counting the holes, pushing the car in the holes, psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, murderers, killers, assassins from the NOVO MESTO police station sitting inside of the car and blowing over the proportions the damage that is being done to the car. For the holes, for all the shit that the road is really shitty, deliberately so. I have a totally separate video about that one. Deliberately. They deliberately did not maintain this road. Deliberately not. Road is full of holes, fucked up. Here is where also Mount Everest of torture took place. These are the apartment buildings here at the Ragoska. All this here, these apartments. And it's normal that here it's a reduced speed of 30 kilometers an hour. Here you come 50 kilometers an hour. Here is 30 kilometers an hour. So it's no good for the engine to go 30 kilometers an hour all the time. Now you do have to maintain this speed all the way to this intersection here. Let me demonstrate you this. All the way through here. All the way through here. 30 kilometers an hour. You come here. All the way, 30 kilometers an hour. No? Let me demonstrate you this stuff so that you understand why, how this stuff happened. Why they counted they're going to create a car crash on the intersection. Yeah, this is okay. I thought that I went past this sign, 30 kilometers an hour. You see the 30 kilometers an hour? Sign. 30 kilometers an hour, you have to go 30 kilometers an hour, 30 kilometers an hour. Then you turn this way, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here, and you continue with the 30 kilometers an hour. You continue with the 30 kilometers an hour. It turned me around. 30 kilometers an hour toward the intersection we have spoken about. This is a rondo. This is a RONDO intersection on which you would be turning your right. Instead of that, you saw me, I was talking to you about going straight, basically just going straight. Here is basically the sign that demonstrates I do not understand why this here would be cut, this thing here. I don't get this one, but that's my fault because I don't know that much. Why is it the signaling written like this? Doesn't matter right now. This is basically the sign, yeah? So we continue, and then there is the third alternative that you can use also to get to the father. You can get through right here. To home for elderly people. You go from our home like this, like this, like this, like this, and instead of that you will be merging. You see there is a merger, there is another merger here. You don't have to go under the bridge, but you go this way. But this is only one way, you know, you cannot turn and go this way. They made sure that you would not have ability to go this way, but they force people to go through the bridge and continue that way. If you want to go this way, you have to go under the bridge and then turn this way. So that will be going through the bridge toward Lochna direction. I did go too far with it. That will basically go through the bridge, and then you will be turning your left, and you will be Seidlova Cesta, Seidl Street. You will be continue toward this direction here, toward the city direction. Let me demonstrate you what this looks like. And then really simple. So that's a bridge right there. You will be traveling this way, this way, this way. A lot of semaphores. A lot of semaphores. School, 30 kilometers an hour area. A lot of and semaphore after semaphore, semaphore after semaphore. Everywhere. Again, semaphore, 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 semaphore. And that will go through the next to the hospital. Basically toward in direction of the home for elderly people. So basically these are the three options that you have. And so the police was taking time to demonstrate and talk about the damage that's been done when you drive into the halls, the damage that's been done when you drive slowly with the car, and then think about the lunacy with the mechanic that went on. Think about that when the mechanic would not replace the engine oil. He would not want to replace the engine filter, would not want to replace the engine air filter, and so on and so forth. So, you know, you're getting the picture slowly about the psychotic way to mistreat individuals so that he would see himself as something as inevitable, something that he just had to follow the certain street. Basically, you're talking about entire book they created, dedicated to brainwash, for me to see basically only one way, the way they, you know, enforce and basically argue with them, even about the traffic regulation, about the laws and so on. I surely did. I absolutely, because I'm extremely cautious. I was driving a truck. I did not have one single infraction. One incident that happened to me, they managed in Ljubljana in a center in Slovenia. They would not come out of the buildings to greet me, to meet me, and assist me, to point me out where they want the pickup to be done. I did already talk about that. It's industrial center where I was circling around for 2 hours, searching for a fucking practically non-existing address. This is how nasty this stuff was. And when I was doing this back and forth, backing up, back and forth with a tractor trailer, I did smash into the fence a little bit and had to replace a pillar of the fence. I did myself. That kind of stuff. Other than that, I never had a single infraction with a CDL license on the truck, not a tractor trailer. What I do is always when I come, you know, Yes, of course, that you, once you are in a rondo, you know, you are a user of the rondo. And yes, because you are inside of the rondo, I think that you're not even maybe obligated to put the sign about which direction you are turning because of the signs they placed here, that you have to just pay attention to the traffic and safely merge into the traffic. But I think that in this case that you actually should and have to even use a signaler because because the road is straight, is going straight through here. You know what I mean? And when you are turning like this, people don't even, if you don't put the sign and all of a sudden you just turn, what happens? I mean, it's a boom, right? I mean, I prevented at least 20 car accidents going through this direction straight. I'm sure it was 20 car crashes because, I come here and the first thing that I do is I look at the markers of the car. That's how fucking insane this stuff is. They don't put any markers, they don't put any signalers that they're gonna turn this way. And the words that, to me, that they're gonna smash in the car just like that, just really stick with me because it's traumatic shit, because you don't know if the fucking guy is gonna go and smash into you and say, hey, by the way, I was at the intersection, because it gives him advantage, you see. He is, here is a different rules that apply to him right here. You see this here? He enters the intersection here and you are here. You practically did not enter the intersection yet. You have to make sure that it's safe to enter the intersection. There are different regulations that apply here inside of this intersection. That's how fucking crazy this stuff is. So paying extra attention to the idiots that don't put the signaling, absolutely any kind of signaling, do not reduce the speed, and you don't know what they're gonna do, and all of a sudden they turn in this direction, wow, right in front of you, to cut you, to go either this direction or to make a U-turn. That's fucking bizarre. It made me actually use this sign to rather go and slow down to a degree till I actually see what the fuck is happening. I'm afraid to use this intersection as you should use the intersection under the normal circumstances. I literally developed fear from getting smashed with a car at this intersection because of the promises, because of the police promises, and because of the behavior of the motorists they're using in the traffic. Why the fuck would I always have the cars, whenever I take the mother, turning around, making a U-turn in front of me? Why the fuck would that be? Every fucking morning when I come is a U-turn. Why would you be fucking doing this stuff? Is it like a rush in the morning before 8 o'clock in the morning where people go to work to do the U-turning? Why the fuck would the people turning around the car here? Why would people be doing this kind of stuff? I mean, I don't understand. Why would anybody be doing this kind of stuff? They came up with all kinds of gestures on why that had to be done. No, that really does not rationalize that when I take my mother to the father at 07:55 around, that there was a car after car, all with the NOVO MESTO license plate, that would be making turn around here. Man, you have to start to get afraid, or you're going to have literally a car crash for the people like this. Literally misusing the traffic regulations to do their own regulations. Yeah, of course. I stop here. I come up to here because I'm afraid to enter the intersection, because I don't know what the fucking guy, when he's coming here, is going to do. He's going to swiftly turn and smash into me. Is just the problem that I don't need. I don't need any kind of car crash. So this is the way it is. The first thing that you come to this intersection is you look at the lights, the markers of the fucking car that comes here that never turns the fucking markers on. This is my story. And you were even able to see, based on the recordings, that there were some people that would not give the markers. I don't know about whether you should give the markers or you should not give the markers. There are different kind of intersections, like the one right here. Let me demonstrate you. We're gonna use this kind of intersection here. This is a rondo intersection right here. And this is a double line intersection, right? And in this intersection, it's a very simple thing. If you're gonna go out here, all you do is you merge yourself on an inner circle and you put the sign, you go out. That's all there is to it. That's your job. If you're about to exit this here, you go on the inner, on this area here, and you continue so, you continue so, you continue so. Hold on. We go back here. I don't know why did it throw me out. And you will not put the signal out yet. You have to go past this intersection here. Did you come still on the inner circle? That's when you put the sign that you are about to turn out, and you slowly merge into this area here that you see with marker going out. Yes, of course, that when you are inside of this circle, you don't have to use any kind of marker. Actually, you're prohibited to use marker until it's determined about which exit you're going to take. So this intersection here that I demonstrated you does not have this kind of, does not have the two circles, does not have an inner and outer, round, but it only has one. So I believe that you are obligated to use markers when you are making a U-turn or when you are making a 90-degree. I believe the law states that you have to do that because it doesn't have to. What these people, however, misinterpreted, demanded from me to view as what they're using at traffic drivers for. That's a completely different purpose. Nobody ever indicated me so far. Not a single fucking car that was making either U-turn or was going through here ever indicated me with the marker attempts to turn in front of me. Well, let me demonstrate you. So this is a complete lunacy. Complete lunacy. Unprecedented lunacy. No car so far ever, whenever the car was coming and making a U-turn, going basically like this, or going this way, ever, one single fucking time. The best about it is you would have two cars doing the same shit. Like you would already assume that it's safe to go, it would be another guy that would be rushing behind him doing the same fucking thing. You already here inside of the fucking intersection, I'll fucking smash you. You don't fucking let the monkey go. You understand? No fucking car ever indicated the direction, attempt to turn this way, ever. Oh. These are the rules, these are the regulations that these people are enforcing. That is what they believe they will enforce based on MKUltra scenario. And I did describe you what took the other day when they created a traffic jam and they forced me through the side street to meet the mother over there at the graveyard and stuff like this. How far the fuck is this shit gonna go for? He's got a private psychiatric clinic, it says right there. Psychiatrist Peter Kapsch. How long is this guy gonna play a police officer, traffic officer for? Doing stuff like this to people. How long, I'm asking the United Nations, how long are you going to allow a traffic police to do the stuff like this? To drive people insane, gesturing how bad it is to stop at a traffic light. On the other hand, that it is prohibited to turn off the car and so on, the engine and so on and so forth, which is correct based on the laws. What kind of a fuck is this? Are you gonna do the fucking traffic, or are you gonna fucking have a criminal doing criminal stuff while at the same time enforcing the traffic rules for which he hopes you will violate based on the anger, based on MK Ultra torture that was done to you? What kind of lunacy the fuck is this? That's the point about this video. That's the point about this. Like I said, till I see the military boots inside here walking with the scum dragged out like a shit, like you drag the bags, like you drag the dirt from this police station, this isn't gonna fucking stop. I want these people to be dragged by the military out of here, because they're not people.